Good morning, students. So, today we are going to start with the next topic of chapter number 2, and the name of the topic is online banking. So, when we talk about online banking, we call online banking as web banking or we call it as internet banking. So, whenever the customers they conduct transactions through financial institutions website, that means from the website of the bank, that is called online banking. So it is not only within India but it is across the world are relying on the internet today. So what else in online banking, it is very easy to proceed the transactions, to make any payments or to get any services of the bank by sitting at home, right? So here we are not required to go physically to the bank branch and avail this service, but this service can be availed by sitting at home. So here online banking services, so these are the services that are provided by the banks. Viewing account balances, so through online banking you can view the account balance of your bank account, you can view the recent transactions, you can download your statements in the PDF format, you can view images of paid checks, then you can order a new checkbook, you can download your periodic statements like from May to June or for 1 month 2 month any period. Then you can download application for mobile banking, e-banking. Now we have an application for HDFC Bank. So when you will visit the website of HDFC Bank, that time when you're doing any transactions, that is called online banking. So whenever you will download any application, that is the application that is to be installed in the mobile phone, that is called mobile banking. Next is banks customers can transact banking tasks through online banking, including funds transfers can take place if the other customer to whom we have to send the money, that customer is linked with the bank account or online banking, then automatically we can transfer the money, we can pay the third party, like we can pay bills, we can use the telegrams, etc. So investment, we can also invest in some mutual funds or wherever we want to invest. Loan application can be applied and the transactions can take place accordingly. Register utility billers and make the bill payment, so we can register for the utility billers, like we have if we have to refill our gas, so we can online we can book and we can quickly pay the money using the online banking. Why use online banking? Because it is free first of all, and it is easy to apply. We can instantly get an access to or get an up to date about the information of our account. Then it is safe and easy, and we always use a ID and a password for online banking. Next is it is fast, so it just only few seconds or few minutes takes the time is taken to get updated account information and complete a banking transaction. So it does not take more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes, like that, depending upon your network. Then it is convenient, you can perform online banking right from the home, so it is convenient, so you need not to physically visit the bank branch for availing the service. It is 24/7, even at night at 12 o'clock 1 o'clock, anytime you want you can use online banking. So it is a worldwide access, anywhere you're sitting in the world you can get access to your accounts anywhere in the world. Next is we have no special software required, you need not to purchase any special software. You as long as you have a personal computer within the minimum configuration, you can opt for and you can use the financial institutions website to do the transactions. Wide range of services, so as we know that there are a number of services that are provided, as we have already seen that you can access your account, you can access your passbook, whatever, even you can apply for the loans, you can purchase and sell the securities or some other investments, etc. So these all were the services that are provided. Now why online access process, how we can use online banking? So first of all, if you want to opt for online banking, you have to get registered with the bank. A customer ID with internet access would need to be registered with the institution for the service, and you have to set a password. For the customer verification, we have to set a password, and as well as we have to register a number, that is a mobile number, a contact number. So whenever you will be doing any transactions, you will get a one time password for the same, just for the customer verification. So mostly the password for online banking is normally not the same as telephone banking, so we will study this as well. Banks routinely allocate customer numbers and also under various names, whether or not customers have indicated an intention to access their online banking facility. So the banks, they just call their customers to know that whether you are using online banking facility or not, or it is just to avoid the frauds that take place. Next is benefits. So we benefits, as we have already discussed, it is very convenient. Better interest rates are given on fixed deposits or on current account we don't get any interest, so on recurring deposits, saving account, like that. So services are provided, right? Mobility means anywhere we can use the mobile this online banking. So it is eco-friendly, we need not to use any paper, or we need not to waste any paper, we need not to fill up any vouchers. Directly we can transfer the money as and when we require. Next is online banking risks. So here, when you are using internet banking, or when you are using the website of a bank, that time it is a possibility that your internet or your website can be attacked by certain number of like frauds or attacks can take place, right? So some of the attacks that we are going to talk about. So cross site scripting and keylogger, trojan horses are, we can say, it is a software or it is a program that is installed. If it is installed, it is a dangerous program. If it is installed, then automatically your computer files throughout the system will get affected. Then we have fraudsters adopt a number of methods. So what are the methods that the the people who do the fraud, they adopt? For phishing we have skimming, we have spoofing, right? So first is phishing. Now it is very important to note down the difference between all. So when we talk about phishing is fraudulent practice of sending emails that looks like they are from a reputed company in order to induce customer to reveal personal information. So in phishing, the emails are sent, right, and they are like look like that they are being sent from a very reputed company, but no, they are sent from the fraudsters just to get an access on your account details, right? So here, when the customers, they make an attempt and its request disclosing information at the bogus website will be operated by them, automatically the information will be captured by the criminals. Second is we have skimming. So here in skimming, we have, it is a method to capture information from the card holder, especially the ATM card. So what they do is they prepare or they make fake ATM cards and they swipe that ATM card into the ATM machine. So whatever information of the customer is there in the ATM card, that information gets, and the fraudster or the criminals, they are able to get the ATM pins of the customers as well. So this is one method. Again, it is an attack, it is a cyber attack, we can say. The next is spoofing. So spoofing is what? It is coordinated attack against your network security. When someone pretends to be something or someone they are not, in an attempt to gain access to your systems, steal your data, or gain your confidence. So for example, we say when an email is sent from a false sender address that asks the recipient to provide sensitive data, this email could also contain a link to a malicious website that contains malware. So emails are sent from wrong recipients, automatically they again ask you to access that particular website or link that is given, and automatically your data is being stolen. Next is we have the topic online banking security features. So first is security token device for online banking. We should always install some antivirus and all that for the same. So use of secure website, we have to take single password authentication, we have to keep, we have to can the personal identification number, or we can say it is the transaction authentication number should be there. System where the pin represents a password, we should log in, right? So we should never save the password. Then next is we should always opt for one time password for the SMS. So signature based online banking where all the transactions are signed and encrypted digitally. Next is online banking security countermeasures. Now countermeasures, these are implemented by almost all the banks, we can say. Digital certificates are used against phishing and farming. Then use of class 3 card readers is a measure to avoid manipulation of transactions by the software in signature based online banking variants. Users should use virus scanners and be careful with the downloaded software or email attachments to protect Trojan attacks. So we can add here that although the users, they should keep a check on the password or whatever emails they are getting, so they should never rely upon such emails. Sometimes it is a possibility like some calls can come and they can ask you your account number, your pin and all that, so we should never give such type of information to that callers. So they all are like, they have different methods of calling, or they have different methods of contacting with you in order to get your information from your card, or get your information from your account or account number, regarding your account number, right? So this was all for today. Stay safe, stay healthy and stay indoors. Thank you.